Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to start working on our altered book. I know there's been many of you that's wanted to do one and was curious about how it could be started and what you had to do and all those type of things. So we're going to go over the pages today. I'm going to link at the end the video that I showed how I needed you to start it, but I was going to also say I went through and did every one, 8 pages rip out, and 6 pages stayed in. And then I could work around that. So that was the easiest way I found to do it. But I'll show that to you when I get to the actual book. Now, this here, I had a bunch of scraps, and I've seen several people online. Gail does them, Gail Agustinelli, and quite a few others. But what it is they'll make these tucks. And that's about what I did here. I used some stickers. I did like a decorative border. But I just kept, and I did a few snowflakes. But what I did is just laid them on top of each other. You start with a large one and then kind of lay others on top. You start with a tall one. You can have them where they're sticking out of your page to like be a tab type item, or they go inside to where you can make them into a tuck, or they work both ways. You can have it both ways. Now this was part of a card that I had. Got it for Christmas one year. Had a house in the middle with Santa on it. So Santa didn't quite go into winter. It was like past him in my area anyway. So I cut him out and I used them both as little journal cards here. And as you can see, they just tuck right up in there. And on this side, I've got some crazy looking stuff. I've got a bug on this side and a little bit of a scene back here that was from another Christmas card. So, use those Christmas cards. And then over here, I just have a tuck underneath one of those stamps. Pretty wolf is here. I have some cardinals. And I guess it's a ground squirrel or something. Or just a squirrel. And then a metal label type of thing with hope on it. All right, that's all we're going to see today. I may be referring back to this for earlier things in here to point out to you as we go along. But here's my book. It's the Dictionary of Superstitions. And of course you need a glued book. You don't want one that's put together by thread. But you can see how much got pulled out. I mean, where is my pile? Here is my pile of paper. That's what got pulled out of here. Now, not all, it's not going to be thrown away. I'm going to be making tags with them. You can make pockets with them. You can use them as glue pages. Some of the pieces that are big enough, I got ideas to put back in here. And that's the whole purpose of pulling that many out, because you're going to be putting papers back in here to take room. Plus, you may put tags in and journal cards and such. So, and then I also got in here and I did some inking. And I picked Vintage Photo Oxide to do that because the book, or not book, the digital that I'm working with today is this one. It's my design team project for Wonders by Wink on Etsy by Miss Keong Shotwell. And it is the Vintage Butterfly book. And I thought, I really like the idea of that, and I want to try it. Since it's a book, it has writing and all that kind of stuff in it. That's sort of the theme. I thought that would work so well together. And the Vintage Photo goes hand in hand with the colors here. And you'll see why I did the outside edge like that in a minute. I'm going to give you a nice flip through here. And this is part of her ephemera. She's got postcards here and then little like name badges or label badges. And it's really nice kit. I really like all the elements that's in it. And I really had to pay attention to all the elements because that's what I'm going to use in my stash over there to complement this kit. That's what you might want to do. So I'm going to show you kind of how I do it. See this with the letters on it. And of course the butterflies and all that. And even this page, it's got the writing. Here's another one that's got all of the alphabet kind of things with it. It's got some pretty Victorian ladies in here. Here's one that's got some sayings on it. And I did all these on cardstock. So I'll be able to use them like as a card inside of something, as a tuck. They've got strength to them. I like these. I might have to pull something out with mushrooms. That's one thing I didn't do. And I do have a few clocks. I did cut that one off at the top, but we can fix that. Now here's some of the pages. They're very, very pretty. Look at that butterfly right there with the hummingbirds and the nest. And it's all like in sort of a book form, as you can see. You can see the edge of a book over here. And I think that's part of the concept of her title, the Vintage Butterfly Book. I really encourage you to go over and look at some of her kits. They're very pretty. You know, I'm a big fan of that phone kit. And but she's got others. There's a vintage or a cardinal. It's a winter cardinal or something kit, and I have that one, and it's beautiful too. Now this one has a bit of lace, so of course I'm going to pick out lace. Here's a rose. That's one thing I didn't pick out, and I had an idea to pick one of those from my stash over there. I'll have to get that. This lady must be out in the garden looking at the flowers and things, and I have a stamp that's similar to that one. So of course I'm going to pull that out and use it. And then we have this one. And this is the rose I keep thinking of that I have over in my stash. Sorry, I had to go pull it out because I would forget it. My brain doesn't work too good anymore. Oh, look at that pretty bluebird. Isn't he cute? And these are more into being writing pages. I do have a little bee here and a door. You know, I love doors. I'm going to have to add some bee elements to this maybe. And these are writing pages that you can kind of stick. I've got certain pages in here that would be perfect to put these in. And you'd want to mix them all through your book. This one I like because it looks like a ledger paper in a way. Then I have some plain ones here that's from this. These are all from this one kit, the Vintage Butterfly Book. Look at the swallows. Oh. Okay, I had to stop and grab another one. And then here's another pretty nest. Oh, there's music behind here. Didn't quite see that before. And I think I see brick. She has quite a few bits of layering here. Now this one has a bit of a crackle background to it. And I might enhance that so the crackle stands out a whole lot better. I have some butterflies on this one. And some beautiful lace on here. So, of course, I had to pull out some lace items to use with this. And here's a pretty little butterfly swimming around in the weeds. And then we have this one. It's sort of a collage kind of a thing with a faded out flower on it. But that's really pretty too. Now, this one was another of her kits that was forced through the trees. And I thought these colors went well with these colors. See how close they are? So I thought, well, if I need them for something, I can use them. Now here's that Elizabeth and her German garden. I used that in my last journal, the grungy journal. And, but, you know, it fit. I mean, this is a Vintage Butterfly Book. It looks like mostly it's held in the garden. And I love this background. It reminds me of old wallpaper. But I think it's so pretty. And all of these are just one-sided because you're going to be gluing them down. You don't need to be wasting your ink or anything on the opposite side unless it's maybe some of your ephemera. So what I'm going to do is show you how to get started with your book. Now, I told you in the other video that you start by leaving the first 4 or 5 pages. I think I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 kind of met up with the next set here. And you use paper clips to figure out what you want to put together, if you need to, and that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, so I took my vintage photo and I went around the outside edges, and I'm going to show you why. Because if you look at like this page, it's not going to cover the whole page. Now, in the case of my other one here, I believe I went and used a background paper. It's a little smaller as well. But I did take a little bit of background paper in some cases. Like these papers were not long enough, so I had to put extensions on them. But sometimes I would put something behind and then the focal on the top. But here I thought, well, I'll save myself some extra paper, and I'll probably cut it right down through there and put this one right here in the middle of the ink. And it works. And I'll do that on both sides. I just have to choose what I want here at the beginning. And then you go along, and once you get up to the fifth one, what I did was I've got a paper clip at the top because that's going to be an uploading pocket. I'm going to glue it. Let me show you. I'm going to glue it all around the outside edge here. On the, well, not the whole, the side and the bottom is going to get glued. You're going to punch you a thumb pull up here, and then you're going to be gluing them together. And the way you need to concentrate on your gluing, the way Gail Augustinelli showed it, you're going to want to put your book up, you're going to put your glue on here, and then you're going to pull your paper down, and then you're going to shut it and wait for it to dry. And it's going to make it where it's not going to buckle. If you've done one before and you would pick it up and see this bow or something in here, that's because it did not glue together straight. And so that is what helps in that concept. So let me put that back on here. So I do know that's a top loading pocket. My ink is kind of helping me out because I'll know what's what. And here, these are, the first one is a very easy pocket. So this is just where you take the whole page and you're just going to fold it down. And you go along the outside, or the inside, I mean, of your piece there. And then what you're going to want to do is cut down to maybe between a half and a quarter. Like that. And you're just going to pull that off. And then you're going to use a glue stick. Oops. Come on. There we go. You're going to use a glue stick on the back side of this and glue it down. And you can ink before or after or not at all. It's up to you. If you want to ink it, ink it. If you don't, you can leave it alone. Now, if you did not want to put a digital, if you don't have a digital or not able to do a digital, get some of the thinnest scrapbook paper you can. The thicker it is, the bulkier it gets and the less you can put in it. So that's what you want to do. Then you want to, you'll take it now, and we're just going to do this first page to glue down so I can kind of show you our first couple pages. And I explain how to do this one. Let's get that one out of the way. And so we want to do a thumb pull at the top. So we're going to do it at the front side up here. And just punch it in like that. And then you might want to do a little bit of inking behind here. Just so you don't see that, yeah. You don't see all that white. So we'll put paper on afterward, but I wanted to show you how to put your pages together like I was explaining. I should have did it all in one shot. I want to thank everybody for coming to visit. I hope you get to see how to do this and try one yourself. It's really fun. And you got all these old books hanging around and you don't know what to do with them. This is what you can do with them. Now see, I'm pulling it really tight and then I'm pushing it down. And you can pick it up like this and make sure it looks pretty good, which it does. It looks flat. And then just make sure that's all down. Then this next piece, I'm not going to glue it down yet, but I'd be gluing it here and here. And I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be pulling it as good as I can to get it to be almost like it's shut. And then I'm going to attach it to that back sheet back here. I need to wait because I need to put my paper in here first. So that's the other thing you have to wait. It's like a step-by-step process. But anyway, I would be cutting this piece off over here, just like I did this one. And I don't really need to put that back in there because I kind of know what's what here. This piece. Now, this is another one of the easier pages. And also, I forgot to tell you about this part. Where is it? Right here? Okay, here is my rip-offs, where you went 6 pages, 4 to 6 pages, and you had to rip out 8, 10. Well, this is all those that I had to rip out. And I did have to get in there and start it with my scissors or with an X-Acto knife and just do a little pull right there. And it helped it start to rip for me. But what you want to do is you want to hide these. So you've got to think about how to hide them within the pockets and things that you're putting in here. So that's what I'm doing. When I glue this down, that's all hidden. It's gone. So that's one of the other things you want to concentrate on. Now here, this one, like I said, is an easy one. You're just going to take your whole page and you're going to fold it into the spine. And it's going to go in just like that. But this is getting cut off. So remember that. You're cutting it off and then you're gluing all down that edge that you've got left here. So it strengthens your edge here. But you're also going to be putting paper on top, so that's going to help as well. I believe we will be coming back through here and doing the glue down in another episode. But I just wanted to show you that in case you wanted to start, just practicing on a couple of your pages. So this will get glued here and here, and then you're going to pull it over and get it to go down. But this is after you've got your papers on here. Now you can do a whole book of nothing but this. If you got one that's got some cool things in there, like a Reader's Digest or something that's readable, you can actually just make the whole book this and make it just plain. Now you might want to ink it. That gives more interest. But other than that, you could even stamp on some of the pages to decorate it up some more. But, you might give it to somebody to decorate on their own, that kind of thing. All right, so what we have here is where I'm hiding another set of rip-offs. This piece will get cut off. That's going to be glued down to here, like this and here, so it's another tuck. And then inside here, I've got my rip-offs, as you can see. Now, if they don't rip off really neatly, you can get in there with a small scissor and cut on them. And you can get tweezers and get in there after them, too. I know I've done that before quite a bit. Now, this, because I had my tweezers, my paper clip, good grief, over there on the right, I knew I had intended for this to be a side-loading pocket. So we're going to go ahead and ink up a little bit right there. Or you can ink up the whole edge because you're going to see that going in and coming out. But other than that, that's what you do. And moving on, here is another. Now those first 2 folds for pockets are very common. They're very common. That's what you see most likely that other people do. Oh, I need to cap my glue stick here. This one isn't. I think I came up with this one. I've not seen anybody else do it. So this is the whole page here. And what I wanted to do is one of those upper and lower pockets. Let me see if I can find it in here. It's where you... Where was it? That wasn't it. Here it is. This one. Now, this is the one that I said does not hold anything very well. Unless it's a large journal card. That would fit in here and hold really nicely because you're tucking it up in here. These little things don't do so well. So that's something to consider when you're doing this. Oh, I grabbed both of them. All right, I'm so professional. All right, now what you want to do with this one to get this fold is you're going to fold it up from the bottom. Just line it up to the side, be parallel. Put your wrinkle in there, your fold. Then you're going to fold it in. And depending on how much of a tuck you're wanting over here, because see, I actually folded it there first, and I thought, that's not big enough. So I made it a little larger. So it's up to you how wide to make it. So in this instance, you're only going to be gluing the top of this when you go to glue this down. But of course, you know, you got to have your page in behind, whatever scene or whatever you're going with. And usually I do focals on these type of things. And then on this side, I just did the exact opposite. I folded the top down first, and then I did it in from the side. And then to get them correct, or, you know, the same distance to each other, just lay it over here. And see, you would have known to fold it right there to be even with this one, so they look alike. And that's another trick that I do. Over here we have what I call a free swinging page. I'm thinking I've seen this out there before. I'm just not for sure. But this is where I'm going to cut off this piece right here. Glue that little bit down. The same on the other side. I'm also hiding my rip-offs in there. And that's a weird word, rip-offs. I feel like I'm talking about picture perfect with the riff-offs. Okay, anyhow, so you're going to glue it here and here when you go to glue it. And then it's going to be able to swing. But it's a large pocket to put a big card or something in. You might have some Christmas cards if you're going to make a December daily out of this, or, you know, just a big card that somebody sent you, or, you know, you have a master board and you make your own big cards to go in. This is one of the other easy ones here. This is a side tuck. It's not a double one because I only have one on this side. I don't have one over here. But that's where you cut it off, glue that down, and it'll glue up here and there. And then here is the diamond. And let me find the diamond so I can show you that one. It's one of my favorites. I love the diamond. It has, it looks like it has movement to it, I guess you'd say. And see, here it is. So you've got 4 tucks here. Because I glued it right there on the line, right in the middle, on the horizon. And that's all you had to do. Now I'll show you how to fold that. And it's a little more complicated. Well, not really. This is just folding it against the spine again, going down. And then when you go up, you're doing the same thing. Why did I say it was even difficult? I don't know why. All right, so you're just evening it out. You're putting it against the spine there, and then you're putting that down. Now, the only part is now you have to cut those off, but be really careful where you're cutting, just so you don't cut anything away that you might need, like the point. And like I said, when I go to glue it down, I glue it right through the center, right like that. And then you also have to lay that in there like that so you don't get any of that buckling. And then I have one on either side. Now, if you wanted to get creative with this one right here, you could just do a big old dot of glue on the end. And then you've got 2 tucks, or you have a big belly band. Like that. So, you know, you could play with this and figure out what you want to do. You could just glue the bottom, but that, I don't, you know, it's kind of hard to get a card or something in there like that. You get more mileage out of it if you've got access to both sides. All right, moving on. Okay. So, like I said, I went and used 6 pages. I left 6 pages in here altogether. So, when I got to the point where I'm trying to see if I can explain this. When I got to the point where I needed to hide the rip-offs, where are they at here? Are they in here? I'm trying to figure out where they are in this section. Well, where are they? Are they under here? Well, what I'm trying to get at is you can rip off papers that are right beside a rip-off area and then work it in. But the page that's... I think I can find one back in here. But the page that is... it isn't as easy to describe as I thought it would be. The page... There it is. There's me a rip-off area. Okay, well, this one's kind of complicated. Crap. Oh... Rip-off. Oh, there they are. Okay, they're under here. There's my rip-off area. Okay. Say, I had a page or two extra here that I didn't want to be able to use or I couldn't use because of the count or whatever. Then, what you want to do is go to as close as you need. This is another diamond, like I just showed you. So, this is a good place to give you the example. Okay, so I started over here. This diamond goes down to here. This side of the diamond, let's say I had 2 or 3 extra pages in here before I got to the rip-off area. And I did not need them. You keep the one you need for this fold, and you rip out that 1 or 2 extras. So that gives you the ability to still hide the rip-offs. Now, if you ripped it off so neat and tidy that it doesn't matter, you don't need to worry about where you do that. But you have to keep in mind if you can hide the rip-offs and then what to pull out before that to get rid of it. Okay. Anyhow, the next one is a double side tuck. So you've got 2 paper. This is where you needed 6. This is definitely one you needed 6. So the first one you're just folding down half. Right in half. The next one, you fold it a little further out. And then when you go to fold this page, well, you knew it was going to be in half. And then you're going to lay that one up against this one and fold it so you knew you had them both the same distance. And there's my rip-offs. So they're hiding up underneath of this one here and won't be seen at all. Whew. You'll have to let me know if this is understandable or not. If need be, I can write up my system here, I guess, and put it in the description box. This here, I did leave like a page or 2 here and there that was just plain. Or just, free swinging. And I can do like journaling or something on it without having to go and pull out a journal card or something. So this one is the one that I have in here that I really like. And it is where I can't hide my rip-offs. But it's the one with the wolf. Where was that? Here. It's this one. And I really liked how that turned out because, and you see, there's my rip-offs. You can kind of see them. But if you got in there with your tweezers, you might be able to get them down to a point you can't see them. So I liked it because, well, I was actually going to glue it down here and here, and I'd have a tuck. But I liked that I could do them both like that, and I had him. Or I could do it both like that, and I could see over here. So I really like that. I don't want to do that again in this one. And so what you need to do is you'll just figure out which way you want to go there. Cut those off, and then you're going to glue those down. And we're going to ink them and cover them with paper. And this one turned out a little different than what I thought I was going to do with it. I had thought that I was going to do 2 like chevron looking pages, and one was going to be this way and that way, and they're going to be 2 tucks. And then I decided, no, I like it that way. So this one is a little harder to rip out, I do admit, because you got to cut it down to a certain part or rip it down to a certain part, and then cut that edge off and fold it under. And then this one's even worse. You got to go way down here for that one. And but I did like it this way better because it's actually a double tuck. So that's the way I went with it. And I'm going to stick with it. That's a new one too. I don't know if I've seen that one anywhere. I've only seen 2 to 3 of them in here that's been anywhere else that anybody else has done. So what I'm getting at is I hope I'm showing you something different if you've seen altered books before. Okay, what have I got in this one? Now this one, you see I'm hiding the rip-offs. Here is the easiest way to hide your rip-offs. Is you'll take 2 pages and you're just gonna either do it as a side pocket or an upper pocket. And I think we'll just go with a side pocket for now. I think they're easier to access, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. And then what you're going to do here is just glue it here and here. And then pull those together. And once you get halfway, you're going to be actually going in the other direction with the glue. Pulling. Like I said, that's going to be another video. Now, here's the one I did in the other one. That is a snow ball. I think I figured it to be a snowball. That one right there. And see, that's another one that I didn't hide my rip-offs. I don't know what I was going to do with that page, but it ended up being I just left it swinging. So, sometimes you just get in here and, you have one plan and it ends up, you use another one. And I kind of just sketched around the outside there and it just kept cutting back until, because I cut that side off and I laid that one here and cut that off. And then I had to tweak it just a little bit. But I thought what I'd do with that one, since this is a vintage butterfly book and they're like in a garden setting, I might make that a big flower. I'm still debating that. Here, this one is, what is this one? I think that one's just a free swinging one. Or just a single one by itself. These two, I believe, are going to be cut off and glued together for another free swinging. This is another just simple side tuck where it got folded down. And then it's going to get cut off and glued down to there. And of course there's the rip-offs that you're hiding. Once that goes down. This here is, this one I haven't seen either. But it was another one of those that was kind of finicky to do. Because it's a double chevron. I did kind of chew at some of the pages. I didn't mean to, but it was really hard to do. But you ripped down, you have 6 pages for this one. And you rip down to a certain point, and then you're tucking this one under and going to glue it down. Then the next paper, you have to rip down even further. And I had to go in and out with this one to make it parallel with that one. But I got it right down there to the bottom. And then when you go to do the next page, you got to match it up to this one and fold it. And then cut it down. And of course, you can see where I've been up in here trimming. Sometimes you just can't hide it. You try and try, but it's very hard to do. So when I come back with this, I'm going to have it completely inked. I'm going to have all these cut out. Oh, no, I even wrote on here. This was going to be a flip up. I think that's what I was going to do with this. It wasn't going to be free swinging. It was going to be a flip up, which is just a simple thing you can do. And so, okay. All right. I'll get it together here. You can write stuff on sticky notes. You can write on the pages themselves because you're going to cover them unless you're going to do what I said before about leaving it bare. Here is another diamond page. And I showed you how to do that. And then we have our last pages here. So, that's what we've got so far. I still got to go through and ink the rest of it. And it looks like there's hardly anything there, but you are going to fill it up again. Don't worry about that. Now what I was going to show you is, I might pull this back over here, but I'm going to show you items in my stash that's going to go in this. And I'm going to show you why. Now, we did see the one with the sparrows on it. This is my ephemera, so I can pull that off. But there was one that had sparrows flying. And I thought, yeah. I said, I can do the sparrows. Here they are. Little sparrows on that page right there. So, this sparrow right here looks just like it. So, I'm going to work that into maybe the journal card or something else that's in there. Then we have a butterfly. So, you know, I can use a couple. I've got all kinds of butterflies. So, I've got all kinds of means and ways to use them. But I've got that one right there that I could use. And it's got some script stamps in here as well. And a little grunginess. This one here has that large rose I was talking about. See it? How big it is? And it's also got a bud over here. I've got some swiggles and a crackle stamp down here. But the crackle stamp I'm going to use is my Tim Holtz one. Right there. It's actually shattered. But there was crackle on the back of one of these backgrounds. And I can't remember which one it was. But it was very faint. And I want to enhance it. I can't figure out where it's at now. But anyway, that's going to get used. Then what else we have in here is a die cut. That's a huge butterfly. And what I intend to do with that is put it, hopefully, in the diamond. Right here. It may, yeah, I think it'll fit. I do have to cut it in half. So it'll tuck down in there a little more. So I think it'll clear. And be on the diamond altogether. So that's where that one's going. And then we have this. And I know this is on one of those backgrounds. It was the one where she was walking. Where did that go? That one. Okay, that one. See? It's very close to this plant or weed or whatever that is right there. So I'm going to be using that. I hope this is kind of helping you. I didn't know if you needed to see this part of it or what. Now I have die cuts here with all these different flowers. I've got 2 kits of them actually. But we're going to see what I might need. And I've got lace. Because there's one page back here that has lace right there. That's one of them. So I'm going to see about using some of this lace. And we have a few little birds here that will probably get used. And since this is like a garden setting and it has, it's a book and all that kind of stuff, I thought these might go really well. Of course, they've got the butterflies, but they have the script in here as well. And I thought those may make a really nice addition. And there's quite a few things with the alphabet. Where was that? I saw it quite a bit back here with some of the digitals. Like this one. See? So, it's a little different in the way it's made up. But I thought that would work. And, so, I think that's all I was going to pull out for now. I'll probably think of something else later to use. I might have some stencils I want to use. That kind of thing. So I really, really hope you got some ideas here. And if you're following along with me, like I said, when we come back, I'm going to have it all inked up. All my little extra papers that needs to be glued down, cut off and glued down. And with the glue stick. Then first thing we're going to do is glue them all down, all my pockets. So you're going to see how to do it. We're going to do it hand in hand. And so you've got a general idea of how that needs to be done. And then we'll follow we'll follow along from there and pick up the next step along the line, which is going to be, we're going to be putting our papers in at the same time, to tell you the truth, on our backgrounds. So I'll have some of those cut out to do as well as we're working along with the gluing down of everything. Oh, enough. You're saying enough, enough. All right, everybody, have a great, great day. All my subscribers and viewers, thank you for coming to visit and see what's going on. I appreciate your time and your interest. Give me a thumbs up if you like what's going on so far. And leave me a note if you need some clarification on anything. Or if you need more instructions written out to where you can see them. All right, just let me know. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great, great day. Bye.